just to do good, and try to bring good governance to our people who, over the years, there are a lot of forgotten people within our communities that have not had opportunity for good governance, to have good representation, or have people who are exposed enough to know that in building an egalitarian society, or building a society where all men and women are looked after, is better than an acquisition of wealth that eventually will fizzle away after the death of the person.
Some persons tend to mix up between the obedient movement, the OK movement, and they wonder which one is higher in hierarchy now.
If we look at it from the point of hierarchy, we bring dissatisfaction, and that's what's causing panic. Because those who lead the other movement feel, they are going to be subjugated to the whims and authorities of those who now lead the OK movement, and that is not what it should be. It should be about collaboration. It should be about commitment to working together and ensuring that if you believe in the principles that is that is endeared to a lot of Nigerians, like somebody who is disciplined, somebody who have the capacity to manage resources, somebody who have the patience, to be effective in governance. Leadership system. So if you believe in those criteria that I mentioned, you shouldn't be worried about which one is higher or which one is lower.
All right, let's examine the emphasis on President Tinubu's qualifications by all the political parties. This issue has been litigated severally and repeatedly, and to some persons, they feel is a little bit of distraction from the opposition party rather than focusing on the main issue, dwelling on this qualification. What do you think?
I think nobody should go to litigation over Tinubu's credentials. It's obvious Tinubu doesn't have primary school certificate. He doesn't have second. It's obvious. The public knows, because nobody should be hiding for too long or try to look for a way to cut corners. Tinubu does not have that. If Tinubu was somebody that believes that Nigerians should know the truth, he would have come forward to say much about it. But he's not somebody that believes that the people hold any form of authority over whatever decision he takes. He believes he's the one that determines what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. And then those who are complaining should go to hell. But wasting time in going to litigate it will not give any results. The moral burden is already on Tinubu. He knows, his supporters knows. They are feeling, if you watch interview, you see they can't defend it. They are in defensible situation that they find themselves in a very strong debacle. But what I should have advised Tinubu, if Tinubu understand what it means to rise from the ground, he should have told his story differently. I was poor, I didn't have the opportunity to go to school, I didn't have the opportunity to get a certificate, but look at where I am, please, your children should be committed. But telling lies, to cover up what you don't have is obviously a disservice and a disrespect to the Nigerian populace, because it doesn't have it. And I challenge them, if they say it has it, to present it. So what you don't have, you can't give. So what we should do as opposition is to continue to encourage children, young people, upcoming young generations of Nigerians to look at people who have such principles, better principles that their children can be modeled after, their children can learn from, and their children can use it as a template for success, which is why, like I said, I support P2B. The history is clear. I passed with him through CKC yesterday. He showed me his compound. He showed me where he was born. This is not the first time he's showing me anyway, but every time we pass, we have to just laugh over and say, the CKC, the school is still there. Where he was born is still there. The offices and all the places, they are still there in nature. So it's not something that you have to, try to, rewrite history to be able to get it right. It's something that history itself knows very well, that is, written and properly established within the framework of our system. So nobody should go to court. People shouldn't go to court. It's a waste of time. It's distraction. We should concentrate on this abysmal failure, inability, and incompetence to, run a country where a lot of people would have seen the impact of the level of the money that has accrued to the government of the federation.
What do you think about those who say this issue is enough to disqualify him? What's their place?
The system has failed to disqualify him, because one the problem we have, that's why we've talked about unbundling of the commission, the INEC, unbundling it and removing the power from the government, to act in a way that that they will undermine the integrity, the independence of the commission. So because if the commission was really an independent commission, there are certain things the commission would have done in line with all of this. And when you have a National Assembly also that have become a toothless, spineless bootlicking, to the president, where they would look for anything to undermine our laws to keep the president in power, where they remove, where certificate forgery becomes a crime, and you just wonder what they tell their children at home. It baffles me what these lawmakers will go home and discuss with their kids, and spending so much money in putting their school, and they don't even put their children in school in Nigeria because they don't even believe in the educational system. So spending so much money to send their children abroad and to decide to be defending and protecting a person who have none, it's obviously a lack of proper moral upbringing for those who have stood in that part of that direction. So, and if the people lack principle, there's no way they can deliver good governance to you. If people all they think about is how to protection of their own benefit, not right, because right is actually different from benefit. Benefit comes from what you want to do, what you want to get just for yourself. So if you have such people in power, I'm very sure there's no way we can also get it right. So we have to overhaul the entire gamut of our governance and leadership system, whether from each of the arms and every other thing, to be able to restructure it properly so that it can actually defend what is defendable and not go for issues that further break the moral fabric of our cultural and traditional system of life that we have had over a long period of time, even before the arrival of the colonial masters.
Question would be, who will bail the cat?
Nigerians will bail the cat. Nigerians bailed the cat in 2023. It's obvious. But the mistake the Nigerians made, Nigerians were saying, oh, Peter did not protest to protect this. But they could see example from Osun. I've said it severally, that when the people resolved in their majority that this will stop, it will stop. Because when you say protest becomes, when government can suppress protest is when you have a population of 1 million people and 30,000 comes out to protest. Government will suppress it. But let's say you have a population of 1 million people and 800,000 come to protest. The government can suppress it because the people's will and the people's overwhelming participation will douse the authority of the government and the power of the government to override the interest of the people. So when the people become disengaged or discouraged because of the level of misinformation that the government is investing so much money on, to make the people not to see the possibility of trying to create a government different from what we have, and then the people fail themselves because one man can do much, but all the general public put together can do a lot.
There have been this argument that without the opposition fielding a single candidate, it will be pretty difficult to defeat Tinubu come 2027. What's your reaction?
It's laughable because I've been National Secretary of Interparty Advisory Council, National Chairman Interparty Advisory Council. I went to school. I studied up to PhD level in political management and political economy. So I know that this is, apart from that, I have a lot of friends everywhere because of my many years of being here. This is a narrative created by the APC and amplified by certain section of the media, to make it look as if, and this is an attempt to rig the minds of Nigerians before election day. Their rigging has started. And what they want to do is they have set up a disinformation campaign. Disinformation unit at the city boy level and all of that, which we are very much aware of, to try to be throwing this narrative and be throwing this story aside. That is not the reality. The reality is that people will always vote for candidates of their choice. Nigerians' forefathers and those who model our fourth democratic experiment, which is the Fourth Republic, are not daft when they wanted us to have a multi-party democratic system. A multi-party democratic system is that you can have up to 100 and all of them will have presidential candidates. We had how many presidential candidates last time? How many people got vote? People knew where to temperate. People templated for P2B across Nigeria for a new party. Don't forget, for a new party. So all this narrative of that is being created by the APC and their supporters is total farce. It's a farce. It's not the truth. The truth is that candidates who have potentials, who have credibilities, who have sold themselves enough to the people will be voted for. We just concluded the Osun State election. Do you know that Accord is a new party? In Osun State, not a new party in Nigeria, because all the former national chairman from Nalado and Co. have been my friends. So, but in Osun State, Accord became the governing party because Adeleke left the PDP to join them. And citizens went to the poll to cast their vote for over 511,000 persons. Cast their vote for Accord Party as against the APC that is in power, that has minister from the state, that has people from the state, that has the president from the state. Because naturally our president is from Osun, but we want to remain a city boy in Lagos. So all of this interest was put together, and yet the people went for Accord. So the party must do more in creating visibility for his logo, in trying to campaign to the people with a credible candidate, with the message that will resonate with the citizens. So all those other parties that contested, are you saying they wasted? They shouldn't have contested? It's their fundamental right, and it's also the fundamental right of the citizens to be given opportunity to choose from the array of candidates that will be presented to them on election day. That does not stop people to vote. If that glitch had not happened in 2023, P2B should have been president today. Today, it's a rigging for me, and they have done created. See. Look everywhere. Who are they attacking? Look everywhere. This all wants one candidate thing. It's even an attack against Peter Obi. It's an attack. It's so that it's people who are working for him, or those who are supporting him across the globe and Nigeria here, will start to feel, oh, there should have been one candidate. Who told you that? That's not how Nigeria works. We have states. Peter won Nasarawa. Peter won Plateau with 1 million votes. You don't take these things for granted. All we need to do is to go back and appeal to those who worked for us in 2023 and say, yes, mistakes were made. The mistake wasn't Peter Obi's own. It was all our collective mistakes that we did not protest. That glitched and that thing that led to the loss of his mandate. Correct? Because if people of Osun have decided that Adeleke is not coming out to protest for his mandate, the mandate would have been gone. They were the ones that were active. They were the ones who had the polling unit who were seizing money that was brought to buy votes. They were the one who was determined that saying that no, you cannot do this. The result must be uploaded. It is the citizens that did this because they believe in a just and equitable society. They believe in fairness, and it is the citizens of Oshu who are enlightened who decided that this should be the approach. You can't have a system where we all just give up. We can't give up. This is our country. We're not going anywhere. We have this just one life to spend. And
yes, now Peter Oman, you're listening to finish now. According to him, say if that glitch did not happen in 2023 election, say that Peter Obi would have been president today. Yes, we all know. You understand? We all know that Peter Obi didn't win that election. You understand? We all know. He open to everybody. Get me? So now APC now they do what it now they do what it did the hand. You understand? So I believe this time all those things we know give the chance. It not go happen this time. It not go happen. So everybody need to save themselves. That's what it be.